It's Friday, August 16th. I'm Paul Hukalak.
And I'm wearing a sweater. How's your week, Paul?
Very good, very busy.
Excellent.
Cold.
I know.
And wet.
I know.
Yes.
And it's not over.
It is what it is.
Thanks to Coral Collective for our decor ideas today. Sharon Gregoresh heads down to the farmers market. St. Albert is getting a TEDx Salon. And the Akinsdale Arena is getting a new name. But first.
Well, the RCMP want to warn you about the recent increase in theft from motor vehicles where garage door openers have been stolen. The thieves use the openers to gain access to the garages and attached homes and are stealing property. The St. Albert RCMP are reminding the public to secure their valuables, including garage openers.
Yes, RCMP would like to remind you that your garage openers should be taken out of your vehicle and secured in the home if your vehicle is parked outside. Alternatively, it can be locked in a glove compartment. For any theft, removing the opportunity for it to occur is the best solution for prevention.
Remember the hashtag 9 p.m. routine. Before you go to bed, ask yourself, are the valuables removed from the vehicles? And are the doors and windows closed and locked? And don't forget, these questions apply to the house, the vehicles, and the garage.
And as always, if you have any information about a crime, please call the St. Albert RCMP at 780-458-7700. To help keep the TEDx community engaged between regular events, they've created TEDx Salons. These are unique kind of gathering spaces that TEDx organizers hold, which allow the conversation to continue in person. And St. Albert is now home to one of these events.
Okay, so recently, I personally got a TED Talk X, so a TEDx Salon license. So applied for TEDx Salon, which allows us to show TED Talks, and then bring in a curated selection of speakers, and then also have open discussions. So TED's mandate or branding is ideas worth sharing. So because here I own Coral Collective, so we're going to choose to do our first talk at Coral Collective because I have the space to do it here, and because we're about building community and being good people, that we just want to bring community in and talk about things. So I think our first talk will be about community building and how important our community is to our wellness, health and wellness. So on September 15th, 6 to 8 p.m., which is a Sunday, we'll be partnering with some great local businesses, hopefully TV7, hopefully creative agencies, and showcasing the start of our TED Talks, TEDx St. Albert Salon is what it's called. A lot of people in the community who have followed TED Talks are excited to be part of the community, and I encourage, we're looking for people who just want to help. Holding a TEDx Salon comes with a lot of responsibility, I guess, and keeping to the brand. So anything from producers to event managers. So anyone who's interested can always come down to Coro, and I'm usually here every day, and come and just talk to me about what that entails. And if you want to be part of the community of our TEDx Salon, we'd love to have you.
For event details and for more information, please search TEDx St. Albert Salon. The City of St. Albert is renaming the Akinsdale Arena the Jerome Iginla Arena. They're having a renaming ceremony on August 25th from 1 to 3 p.m. Iginla grew up in St. Albert and got his start in hockey playing for the St. Albert Eagle Raiders minor hockey team. His storied career spanned 1,554 games over 21 NHL seasons with numerous playoff appearances, 1,300 career points, a World Cup, and 2 Olympic gold medals. The city is so proud to honor this great player and hometown hockey hero.
Jerome started playing hockey at 7 years old. Throughout his young years, he played AAA hockey for a variety of local teams. Iginla's teams often reached the provincial finals and won the championship on 3 different occasions. At only 16 years old, Jerome Iginla moved to BC to play for the Kamloops Blazers of the WHL. The six-time NHL All-Star was drafted 11th overall by the Dallas Stars in 1995 and played most of his 21-season career with the Calgary Flames.
Without his talent, drive, and dedication to his game, Jerome wouldn't be who we know him as today. He attributes his early years in St. Albert to giving him the foundation he needed to achieve excellence. He gives credit to his coaches and teammates, and especially to his family's encouragement, time, and love. Iginla has remained incredibly humble and active in his communities throughout the years, and made his hometown of St. Albert extremely proud. He has inspired many youngsters to pursue their dreams. At St. Albert, we should be proud of this hometown hockey hero. They couldn't have chosen a better person to rename the Akinsdale Arena after.
So for the record, it's
Jerome Arthur Lee Adikunle Tig Jr. Elvis Iginla. That's his full name.
My Lanta. And I will personally give a $10 Tim Hortons gift certificate to anyone who can message the station with a 10-second clip with the proper pronunciation.
Say it better than us. Here's Crystal Lucier, always with important and enlightening information on Financial Focus.
I want money.
We've all heard the saying, the only thing certain in life is death and taxes. While we may not have much control over the former, we can take steps to reduce our tax bills. But how far would you go to save a few dollars in taxes? Some taxpayers have been very creative in trying to justify tax deductions, and while some attempts were rejected, many others were approved by tax court. Cleo Hamill, a senior tax analyst in Canada, has shared what worked and what didn't work in some unusual deduction claims. An accepted claim was additional food needed by couriers. The Federal Court of Appeal ruled additional food required by a foot courier because of the extra energy that he expended, so he claimed this as a business expense. A rejected, haircuts. Even if your job requires you to be well-groomed and get a haircut regularly, the cost of haircuts is not deductible, and this was claimed in a tax court and rejected. Accepted, diamonds are a girl's best friend. A stripper was allowed to keep nearly $2 million in gifts from a happy customer despite the fact that CRA argued that the gifts were income. The tax court ruled that these were indeed just gifts and they were not taxable. Rejected, ballet lessons. While the cost of your child's ballet lessons used to qualify for the children's art credit, it cannot be claimed as a child care expense. Accepted. Golf is not an employment expense if you hate it. A Canadian executive successfully argued that the golf membership paid by his company was not a valid employment expense because he hated playing golf. Rejected, trips to Vegas. Even if your doctor recommends a trip to warmer climates to help with a skin condition, the cost of these trips to Vegas or Phoenix, Arizona cannot be claimed as a medical expense. Accepted, cat and dog food. You cannot usually claim pet food, but a farmer was allowed to claim cat and dog food because it was for outdoor pets acquired to keep wildlife away from his blueberries. An accepted claim, spousal amount for widows. I find this one very interesting. If a widow remarries immediately after her husband dies, the spousal amount can be claimed by the new husband and on behalf of the deceased husband. A rejected claim, Income Tax Act is incomprehensible. Arguing that the Income Tax Act is difficult to understand is not a valid defense when you're being charged with failing to file your income tax return. Those are some very interesting cases that I wanted to share with you. I'm Crystal Lucier from Preferred Tax Solutions, and this is TV7.ca.
I want money.
The thing that makes any community special is the people, and St. Albert is no exception. You may have seen him scooting around town wearing his iconic bow tie. At 81 years old, Rolly Boycell moved to St. Albert a few years ago after suffering from a stroke.
I've been here just shy of 2 years. I had the stroke in Kelowna, and my children wanted to look after me, and so they brought me to my son's place. And well, my children didn't want me to have a car anymore since I'd I had to forfeit my license for 6 months anyhow. And I got tired of being around the house all the time, so I have a very nice handicap scooter. It has a top speed of 50k, which if I ever find out how to make it go a little faster, I probably will. And it has a range of 50k, and I get around almost every day, every nice day. And I've taken it out in the snow, but it's not as nice running around in the snow.
For the past year, Rolly has been collecting and repairing watches. He scoots himself down to Value Village and buys all the watches he can get his hands on. He estimates that he has collected over 800 in the past year.
Because I needed something to do. I'm 81 years old and I took this up at age 80. So I've been doing it for about a year, and that's how long it took me to collect that number of watches. But it keeps me busy. I just lay on my bed and pop them open, and if I have the right battery, then I put the batteries in. I had a dear uncle who was a real watchmaker. And back in the mid-70s, I used to drive a Volkswagen bus. I wasn't a hippie, but I had a Volkswagen bus. And I had 4 kayaks that I had made myself. And we came out from, we lived in Calgary at that time. And we went to visit him in Kelowna, and that's what got us to move out there eventually, was having family there as well. And we arrived at his place in the afternoon and went in to visit with him. And he said, "Roland, come on downstairs to my watch room. I've got a watch that I'm having a problem with." And I suspected something was up right from that moment, because he knew lots more about watches than I did. And so we went down to his watch room and he said, "Here, try this one on. I'm having trouble with the clasp." So I put it on and it went on just fine. I said, "No, it's all right." And I went to take it off. He said, "I want you to have that watch." He said, "I'm sick and tired of you wearing those cheap high-class Timexes." So we had our visit with my uncle, and then we went from there to the lake with our kayaks, and we kayaked around. And after the kayak outing, I looked at the watch that he gave me, and it was half full of water. Well, we immediately went back to my uncle's place and showed him, "Uncle Bruce, look at this." He said, "What have you done?" I said, "Well, my cheap high-class Timex doesn't get water in it."
Rolly's trademark bow ties were handmade by his late wife that he wears as a tribute to her.
Every time my wife made a new dress, she made me a tie that matched. I'm a very lucky man. I didn't have to buy a dress in more than 30 years. But we were known in Kelowna as the couple that match for 30 years. I have 24 ties of hers left. That she passed away on the 1st of April 2013, so it's been 6 years. And I wear her ties every day. I get compliments every day, especially on the bow tie. When I go to church on Sunday, I wear my suit and whatever tie I feel like putting on that day. And I get stopped and people ask me about it, and it's been very, maybe my wife shouldn't have done this. There's been more women have talked to me because I've been wearing a bow tie. Without this tie, I become invisible. I become just like anybody else on the street. But I get as many as 2 and 3 compliments a day riding around town. It hasn't been any kind of a burden wearing her ties to honor her.
We'd like to thank Rolly Boycell for sharing his story with us. If you'd like to check out his collection of watches, they are available at Coro Collective.
The St. Albert Tool Library might have the tool that you need to finish that project for whatever is left of this summer. And they're this week's Business Spotlight.
Hi, I'm Bridget Reschke, and I'm with the St. Albert Tool Library Society, and we are all about giving you the tools that you need to do the projects that you're doing at home. So instead of going out and buying that expensive tool just for one-time use, you can come here and use us. The St. Albert Tool Library is an environmental initiative that we started up about a year ago. And we got some funding from the city of St. Albert to buy a trailer and start collecting community tools. And so we're collecting renovation, garden, and hobby tools for the people to use. We have about 300 tools. That does include some blades and bits and like router bits and stuff that we have. We have band saws, table saws, miter saws, we have routers, we have sanders, we have drill press, we have lawnmowers. So we got a lot of garden stuff. We got a lot of, we're getting more renovation, but we're still in need of hobby tools. So things like leather making or craft supply type kind of tools that you would use to do hobby work. There are other tool libraries all across Canada, and yeah, I don't even know exactly how many there are right now across Canada, but we do have one in Calgary, one in Edmonton. They just started up too not too long ago, so it's all kind of a new initiative for Alberta. Our number one challenge is just getting known in the community right now. We just really need people to help us spread the word and yeah, get us known and that we're out here, and this is another option to tool rental or tool borrowing. If you don't want to borrow from your neighbor, you can come borrow from us. You don't have to worry about, you know, all the stuff that can happen with neighbors sometimes. Hey, we're the St. Albert Tool Library, and you can find us at www.satls.org. Come check us out.
The Visionary Center of the Performing Arts started a pilot project teaching babies and toddlers music classes at a seniors residence in St. Albert. I talked to Martha Livingstone about this wonderful program.
Okay, so I wanted to start a pilot project last spring, and so I ran a couple of classes there. So we ran it in their meeting area, in their center area, and we ran it just as if it was a regular music class. And the seniors participated by playing the instruments with the kids and watching and clapping and singing along, because they do know some of the songs too, because some of the songs that we do are familiar folk songs that they'd know. And then we decided to do it again in the summer. So I did it as a 4-week session.
Wow, what was the outcome? What was the feeling? What was the vibe?
Well, you know, I think that it was really well received with everybody, because the children really enjoyed having the seniors there, and they shared their instruments with them, and some of the older toddlers would go around and pass out eggs to them and pick up the eggs and the drums and things like that. And the seniors, I think, really enjoyed it. I think that intergenerational activities like that are really good for everybody, and I think that it's really, really good for community building, and music is the best way to bridge community.
And looking as buff and fit as always, here is Michelle Parker with Let's Get Fit.
Welcome everyone. Today's fitness tip: food is what fuels your body. Healthy eating will help you reach your fitness and your life goals. When you make healthier choices more often, you will not only notice a difference within your workout, but also within day-to-day living. Greater mental clarity, improved energy that will help you get through your day. Think lean and clean, especially this time of year. Choose lean cut meats. Think white meat over the dark meat when eating chicken or turkey, and leaner cuts of meat for those red meats. And why not go down and visit the St. Albert Market? Pick up a wonderful assortment of fruits and vegetables for a healthy selection of carbohydrates. Food that fuels. All right, everyone, we know what it's time for. It's time for the move of the week. Today we're going to be taking it down. We're going to talk about some progressions for your push-up. All right, here we go. All right, so today's move of the week. So there's lots of different variations for the push-up depending on where you are in your fitness level. When you're doing a push-up, you can choose to do it against a wall. You can choose a bench, maybe a coffee table, maybe your kitchen counter. So your first push-up that we're going to show you is that traditional push-up, but off of the bench. So coming into our plank set position. So from our shoulders to our heels, a nice straight line, keeping our core engaged as we lower ourselves down and push ourselves up. So you could drop down to your knees for this as well too. However, I really strongly encourage when you're from that bench, let's work on those straight legs. Now you have your traditional one from the floor as well too, so stepping away from that bench, coming down into that push-up. Option, using those knees. And for those of you that may have mastered both of those, to give you an added little challenge, pick that coffee table, do a kitchen chair or bench like I've got here, and we're gonna reverse it up. Feet are coming up, still holding that plank, lowering it down, and press back through those hands. Lots of great options. Keep that push-up part of your regular routine, and you're gonna find lots of muscles growing in places you never knew you had. Everyone, from TV7.ca News, I'm Michelle Parker. Have a great day.
Sharon Gregresh down at the St. Albert's Farmers Market, where she talked to the great people at Something Brewing.
We are down here at Something Brewing at St. Albert Farmers Market. So where are you guys from?
We are out of Red Deer.
Red Deer, a craft brewery from Red Deer.
Yep.
So what makes you unique?
Well, we try to do like a bunch of different types of craft brewers. It's all like unique to like Alberta. We use like a lot of like the Alberta greens, everything kind of locally grown kind of stuff. So that's what I find is really unique about us, and we get some really good beers out of it. So
Some really good beers, perfect.
It's great for summertime, yeah.
How long have you guys been brewing?
For Something Brewing, it's been about 5 years, I believe.
Okay, and you're down here at the St. Albert Farmers Market every Saturday.
Yeah.
So I see that you've got some pretty catchy names going on right now.
So we have a dark side, which is actually a German lager beer. We have the Hot Bomb, which is an IPA, so it's like super hoppy. We got the Belgian White, which is like white wit. And then also we have the Give Me That Nut, which is a brown ale. So got lots of unique varieties, so it's nice.
And you've got them canned, so they're not bottled, they're in cans.
Yeah.
So what's your pricing like?
Pricing, so 4-pack is only $10, 6-pack is $14, and then if you want to mix and match a 12-pack, that's $25. So it's probably one of the best prices on the market right now. So.
All right. And are you going to help people carry it to their cars?
Well, if they ask me, I might.
Okay, there you go. Come on down to St. Albert Farmers Market every Saturday and try this wonderful Alberta brewery.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out Something Brewing at the largest outdoor market in Western Canada. The St. Albert Farmers Market is open every Saturday from 10 till 3, all the way up until the weekend before Thanksgiving. And that'll do it for another week. If you have any community events or news you'd like to share with our viewers, please send us an email at news@tv7.ca.
And don't forget, can you pronounce Jerome Iginla's full name better than we can? Send us an audio file for your chance to win a $10 gift card from Tim Hortons, courtesy of Lisa Rufion's bank account.
Yeah, I knew I was going to regret that.
I'm Paul Huckelak.
And I'm Lisa Rufionge. Have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul Huckelak. Thanks for checking out this video. If you want to stay up to date on everything going on in St. Albert, please don't forget to like us on Facebook or click the notification icon on YouTube. And of course, you can always check us out on our website, www.tv7.ca, or our Roku channel. Cheers!